Is your content or your favorite content creators' information shadow banned on Instagram/Meta and Facebook? Well, let me show you how to find out and what is going on with Instagram versus EDC. So recently, you may have noticed that the parent company of Instagram, Meta, don't know why they came up with that name, but that's for another day. They tweaked their community guidelines to define what is violence and a few other things. And it seems to have caused a lot of chaos and confusion. Now, shout out to Levon over at Knife Nuts podcast for bringing this to my attention, because I wouldn't haven't even thought to look at this in my Instagram account to see, am I shadow banned? Am I having some of my content shadow banned and not being able to be discovered by new people or shown to people that already follow me? I'll link his information up down below. Now, first off, what is shadow banning? This is me using the old googles.com. There's not like really a Webster dictionary definition of this. I'm sure that Merriam-Webster or dictionary.com will adopt this very soon, but according to Google, it's a shadow ban is that when a user's content is blocked or muted on social media platform without their knowledge. The user can still post and respond, but only they can see their content. This can happen on Instagram. This can happen on Facebook. This happens on all sorts of different platforms without you even knowing. It happens sometimes on YouTube if you show too much like boomstick content where it looks like you're pumping your content out, but it's not being shown to people. It can happen here as well. Come to find out, yeah, I did have a few posts that were kind of being shadow banned, and Instagram didn't immediately inform me, which, let's just keep it real. Okay, it's a social media platform, but for some of us, it is important. Some people are monetized on Instagram. I'm one of them. Other folks are as well. Or even if you're not a content creator or the person that posts on there constantly, you like to digest or receive information from the gram. And sometimes when you can't see it, that can kind of suck. So first, let's just look what it looked like when I logged in. When I came into my account, literally it popped up. Your account may not be shown to non-followers. It said your account and content won't appear in places such as Explore, Search, Suggested Users, Reels, and Feed recommendations. They flagged five of my posts rather. Some were reels, some were just regular posts. And I couldn't really understand like what was I violating. And so I clicked on the post. I saw that they were all had to do with knife content. One had to do with boomstick content, but it felt just really like blindsidey. So I wanted to explore more like what does it mean to violate what is sensitive content when it comes to Instagram? How am I violating it? So I looked up an article that Instagram has there. The biggest thing that I zoomed in on is what types of contents and accounts does Instagram consider sensitive? And so it says content that may depict violence, such as people fighting, graphically violent content. That's the only one where I think I may fall into sensitive content. I guess the AI thinks that knives and boomsticks are depicting violence, which violent and violent are two different things. So Instagram also has information about how does their artificial intelligence moderate content. Without you reading through this thing, it builds machine learning, and the machine learning that it's building seems to be very bacon, lettuce, and tomatoes. It's looking for any content that will be flagged as violent or violence. It could be super broad when it comes to that type of stuff. I decided to get on a chat with Meta and try to figure out what can I post or what can I post that will be considered violent content. I appealed those five posts. I'll tell you an update on what happened with those here in a second. But when I reached out to Meta, the same thing that happened to Levon over Knife Nuts podcast happened to me. They wanted to get on the account, and we actually had a conversation and just able to verify some things that may or may not be useful for you. First off, things that may get deemed as sensitive are things such as knives that are open, showing the blade, fixed blade knives, obviously, that are unsheathed. If you have boomsticks that appear, even if they're not loaded, just a boomstick in your photos nonetheless. Another thing that could hurt your posting your content or your favorite content creators is hashtags. So hashtags are becoming like less and less useful on Instagram, and it seems to be a lot of hashtags maybe feeding your content into a community of content that you weren't intending. For instance, the hashtag EDC stands for Everyday Carry, but also stands for Electric or Electrical Daisy Carnival, which is a pretty dope carnivals that go out throughout the entire world for EDM music and all sorts of type of music happens in Florida and Colombia and all that other stuff. I know this because I get fed hashtag EDC with those pictures of those events. Whenever your information's going inside of a common hashtag, it can hurt your content as well. There's some bright news though, talking to the rep is he let me know that having your content flagged doesn't hurt your account, especially in the infancy as they change these community guidelines. But you still should be proactive and try to figure out how to fix it. All right, so how do you fix it as a content creator? So the cover on your reels, your Instagram reels, the main photo on your Instagram posts, you should try to make sure it's not a knife that is unsheathed, showing the blade, that's not unfolded. Just show the scales, show different, cool ways to show it. That will be one way to kind of just tamp down the AI for now. Another thing as a creator that you can do is when you make these posts, try to do more collaboration posts. A collaboration post is when you tag one company or creator and it's a collaborative. It will show on both of y'all's feeds as a post that you made, and they can have that content on their feed, or to just tag companies, not in a collaboration post, but just tag them overall. And if that shows up on their timelines as well, it kind of lets the AI know that this is not a dangerous or violent post. Look, all these people that are sharing it, et cetera, et cetera. The next thing you can do as a content creator is try to put yourself more into the cover photos along with the knife. If you're used to making knife content where you're just showing it by itself, any type of EDC content like Nux or anything like that, put yourself into the content a little bit more. The biggest thing as a content creator is appeal, appeal, appeal. So appeal any of your flag content. And the thing about appealing that content, it goes away from the machine generated algorithm in AI, artificial intelligence, and gets put into the hands, instead of going to some weird guy named algorithm, dad joke, algorithm's not a real person. It goes to real folks that will actually lay their phalanges on your content, look at your content, and make hard approvals or denials. Me going through that process got all 5 of my flags removed. Everything was approved, everything was posted. Now my stuff can be seen by non-followers, which is what I would like to grow my Instagram. It's not even people that follow me couldn't see some of my content, and I can see that I absolutely was no longer being shadow banned. Now, I want you to really pump your brakes. And if you go through this process and you notice that you're not being shadow banned, what that really means is no one's engaging with your content. Okay. So if you go through this, you see that you go into your profile and it does say that your none of your posts are being flagged for non-recommendations. That just means that you need to post better content, take better photos, maybe post more consistently. You've fallen out of the algorithm, whatever the case may be. Instagram just doesn't feed your content to people anymore. So if you're not shadow banned, then you just got to step your game up. If you're not a content creator, the way that you can help overall with this situation is to share, share, share. There's a way to share a post on your stories. You can share a post on your own feed. And the more you share a post, it kind of lets the algorithm know, it lets the AI know that this is not a violent post. People like this content, and more people should see the content. I share content all the time on my personal page because it just kind of lets Instagram know that, hey, this content's good to go. We should not ban or restrict this content in any type of way. Comment down below. Are you seeing any type of bans from your content, any of your favorite content creators? I don't think any of this is going to last entirely too long. Okay. So, whenever some of these companies stretch out their legs and try something new, this could happen more often than not. I'm not defending the fact that Instagram is trying to tighten up the way that they protect people, especially under the age of 18. But I'm also just trying to make you aware that you want to be proactive if you want your crap to continue to be shown online. If this is your first time stopping by, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, thank you once again for stopping by, watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.